Welcome to another weekly maritime video blog. My name is Corey Ransom with International Maritime Security Associates. We have Justin the intern behind the camera and producing today as always. This week we're going to talk about the importance of the Seafarer. June 25th of 2017 was a day that was celebrated as the Day of the Seafarer. The International Maritime Organization, or the IMO, we've talked about them on a number of videos on here, sets aside one day a year to really recognize and celebrate the seafarers. If you take a look of the maritime picture, at any given day, there's roughly 45,000 cargo vessels or more moving cargo around the world, over 250 cruise ships that move close to 2 million passengers, and 4,500 large yachts that are moving VIPs around the world. All three of these types of vessels have men and women who are on board to take care of the operations of the vessel, to take care of the passengers, and really to help move that cargo. So we wanted to take this video blog episode and really recognize the job that these men and women do from around the world. It's amazing to see that most of these men and women will spend between 6 to sometimes 11 months on board these vessels, whether it's yachts, cruise lines, or cargo lines, to get the job done. And there's also a connection point here on shore. There's thousands of ports around the world that handle the cargo and passengers. So we also wanted to take this time to recognize the job of the men and women who are in those ports that move the cargo from the vessels to the trains and trucks that eventually get it to its final destination. So the whole transportation system, if you look at it from a cargo standpoint, 90 to 95% of all the goods that we use around the world are transported by ships. So whether it's fuel, cars, lawn furniture, computers, phones, just about everything that you can think of that you come in contact with on a daily basis probably got to you through the maritime transportation system. Cruise lines, same thing. There's even more crew members on board cruise lines that help to take care of the passengers. So on average, between 800 to 1,000 crew members on board a cruise ship that keep all the individual parts going, from hospitality to engineering to navigation, security, safety, environmental, a number of men and women who come from countries all over the world to keep these ships moving. And same with large yachts. Large yachts, depending on the size, typically have a crew between 8 to 12 men and women that do the same thing, from an engineering to navigation to taking care of the passengers on board. So we wanted to take this episode to thank all of the men and women who work on board the ships day in and day out to keep cargo and people moving. But we also wanted to take this time to thank the men and women who work in the ports to move that cargo and those passengers from the vessel to the shoreside operations. It's really cool when you look at the transportation system and the millions of people who are involved with the movement of that cargo. So sometimes I think that taking just one day to recognize these people is not enough because of the job that they do to keep everything around the world moving. The other thing to consider is sometimes the conditions on board these vessels are not always the best. Sometimes shipping companies, for whatever reason, will go out of business and the men and women on board these ships get stranded. We've seen that happen a number of times with even larger cargo companies going out of business, stranding ships and people around the world. One of the things that I would recommend is for you to get involved with one of these organizations. Justin the intern has my list, so I didn't want to forget it. There's 3 organizations that work internationally that we think are fairly good organizations that help out seafarers. So number 1 is the Seamen's Church. They're located in a number of ports around North America and also around the world, and really do a great job of helping the seamen on board these different vessels with any issues. There's also the International Seafarers Welfare Assistance Group. This is another organization that will come on board to help seafarers in just different situations, sometimes good and sometimes when the seafarers need assistance. And then the last one is the International Christian Maritime Association, another great organization that provides assistance for seafarers around the world. So one of the things that I would recommend is, if you live in or near a port city, is to check it out. Check out what these folks do on a daily basis on board these vessels. Get involved in one of these organizations to help out. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We really appreciate our viewers and our fans. Remember, if there's anything that we can do to help you when it comes to maritime security, maritime risk management, or if you have any general maritime questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us through our website, our phone number, or through our social media. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get updated when we put out new videos, whether here on our video blog, editorial and opinion, or on the life and events page. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and follow us on social media, detailed in the banner above or the comment section below. We're happy to steer you in the right direction. Make sure you check out last week's video in this box right here. Also, be sure to check out our life and events page and now our editorial and opinions page.